Hi everyone, good afternoon. It's Alison. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in New Westminster, British Columbia, which is on the west coast of Canada. So thank you for joining me today. If it's your first time here, welcome. I'm glad you found me. If you are a returning friend, I can't wait to craft along with you today. I'm just going to make sure that I'm actually broadcasting. I believe I just saw it pop up that it was going to YouTube, which is good, but I also have to make sure that I am the audio is on. So I'm just going to double, yeah, and it is. So we're good. So now I just have to wait for some people to pop on, and hopefully will be joining me live. You may be watching me on a replay, and if that's the case, I'm glad you found me, and I'm glad that you found me, and hope you'll come back. Maybe one of my lives. I am live every Wednesday at 3 p.m. Pacific time. So this is 3 p.m. Hi, Keisha. How are you, hon? And I'm also again live on Sunday at 10 a.m. Pacific time. So those are the two times that I try to always be on. So hopefully you'll be. How you doing, Keisha? It's turning a little nippy out there, at least on my side of the water. I don't know what you're like over in Nanaimo there. Okay, we'll just wait for a few more folks to come on. And I've got my alarm on my wrist going off, so it must mean that it's time. Okay, so let's see. Let's open this up a bit. There we go. So you can see what we're going to be working with today. I'm going to show you, oops, that was a mistake. Good thing Keisha is the only one who saw that. You saw my card, Keisha, but that's okay. The rest of them will see it at the end. It pays to be on time. Hi, Mo. How are ya? You're special, Keisha. Well, you knew that, but you really are. Okay. So we're going to be making a card from the Mini Catalog with some product from the Sale-a-bration brochure. I don't usually like to show stuff ahead of time, but I'm getting ready for classes that Ange and I are going to be presenting. So I thought, I'm going to get a head start today. And then I was playing with this particular bundle, and I thought, I'll just do it on my live. So I am a bit early with it, but I'll get you thinking about what you might want to purchase starting January 4th and what you might want to earn for free from the Sale-a-bration catalog. Okay, so shall we go over and I'll show you what we're going to do. So these are the catalogs. I can't show you the inside, but isn't that pretty? What a pretty outside. If you are a customer of mine, and I've been a customer in the last, I don't know, 6 months, I think is what my cutoff is, I'll automatically send this out from Stampin' Up. So you should get it mid to late December in time for the launch. Okay. If you're not a customer of mine and you're not a demonstrator and you don't have a demonstrator, then I'm happy to send you this. So just let me know and I will, just move that. We'll get that out to you in the mail. Okay. Now, in addition to the mini catalog, January and February is also Sale-a-bration. As long as I've been a demonstrator, which is 21 years, this is the most exciting promotion that we offer. It's every January and February. So January 4th to February 29th, we get that extra day because it's leap year. Leap year. For every $60 that you purchase from anything. So it can be from the mini catalog, it can be from the annual catalog, it can be from online exclusives, it can be from the clearance rack, it can be a combination of all those things. As soon as you hit $60, you can start picking free gifts. All right. So today I'm going to be focusing on a bundle that has some coordinating product in the Sale-a-bration brochure. So let me show you what it is. It is a brand new stamp set called Trusty Tools. These have always been popular in the past, tool sets. And then it comes with coordinating dies. So I've taken a lot of them out, as you can see. But we've got a wrench still left in here. We've got, that's the bottom of the paintbrush. Because not only does it have dies? Let me show you. That cut out, there we go, that cut out the images here. Okay. We've also got some other dies like the drill that actually you can cut out of cardstock and build up and make a drill. So that's kind of cool. So here's the rest of them that I took out that I'm going to be using. I love this one. This is like the pegboard, right? You could use this for a crafting card too, because pegboards are good for scissors and whatnot, right? All right, so that's what we're going to be using. And then I also went and grabbed a embossing folder from the annual catalog called Metal Plate 3D Embossing Folder, because I thought, well, that'll go with a theme of handyman or handywoman, right? Okay, now the matching product I was talking about. If you buy the bundle, you will be over the $60 threshold, and you can earn, if you choose, you can pick as one of your rewards this fantastic designer series paper, which is called Trusty Toolbox 12 by 12 designer series paper. The colors that go with this are crushed curry, black, copper clay, gray granite, Lost Lagoon, and Poppy Parade. So let me show you. So this is like the ruler if you were pulling out from a measuring tape. Look at this. A whole sheet of cool little tools. And of course, because Stampin' Up! Is so brilliant, you've got dies. So they cut out what you stamp. You can cut out, but you can also cut out images. Okay, so that's the paintbrush you can cut out of that sheet. And then I've got this one here. This is just sort of like crossed hammers. This one's kind of neat. That looks like if you turn it this way, especially, this looks like my nephew is a car mechanic. He just got his Red Seal certificate, which is a big, big deal. So he is a real mechanic with all his papers. This looks like he's got a big, tall tool cabinet, and they've got drawers, and they're red with gray, and this to me looks like that. So you could probably cut that and make it into one of those. Here's another sheet of a whole bunch of tools. Now, on this one, we've got the measuring tape that we can cut out. So we've got the measuring tape, and we've got the hammer, and we've got the paintbrush. Okay. Nope, this is on the other one, right? Yeah. And then we've also got, I'm a little concerned here. I seem to have lost one of my tools. You know how I'm always telling you guys, put everything on a magnetic mat, right? I think I messed up. I think I've lost one of my little tools. Oh, it makes me sad. Must be here somewhere. Maybe we'll find it before we're finished today. Okay, and then we've also got this one here, which is a sheet of kind of screwdrivers. Yeah. And then on the other side, we have other designs. Let me turn these over so you can have a look. So these are, you get 2 of each of these 12 by 12s. Oh, there's a whole sheet of little screws and stuff. That's kind of cool. These are little nuts and bolts. And that's nice. That's just a plain blue with sort of a muted background. And then on the back of this one, this is like a pegboard, right? That's kind of cool. So that's what you can earn for free. Okay, I'm going to have to change up my card, I think, you guys, because I have somehow misplaced one of my things I was going to use to cut out. So that's kind of sad. I'm wondering if I can just maybe substitute that. Because I've lost my little wrench somewhere. Let's do this one. I'll just use this. It's not exactly what I had, but that'll work. Figure out how it'll look and what color I'm going to cut it out of. And then I have to do a massive sweep of my office to find that die that seems to be missing. Or my garbage can. I lost something the other day. It was so tiny, you guys. My husband was so kind. He came downstairs and said, "Come on, we can find it." And we tore apart my garbage can. Yeah, it was a goner. Oh, look, I found it. See, always look on the back. Crisis averted. Okay, guys, let's get started with the card before anything else happens. We've got basic white. So I have cut my basic white to 5.5 by 4 1/4. It's the heavy, that's the thick basic white. I like it for a card base. You can just use our regular, but I like it because it's a little bit more substantial. I do like the ruler pages, my favorite out of the pack. Really? Oh, hi, Ellie. How are you? Hi, Diane. I did too. I thought it was really neat too. I thought it was really neat. Okay, so we've got the card base. Then I took this paper. So this is the one. It's got like, well, it's got like muted things on it. I can't quite describe what it is. Can you guys see? I don't know what you would call that. But it's the gray granite. Or, yeah, gray granite. And then on the other side, that's the screwdriver. But I'm going to use this side. So I cut a piece that's 4 by 5 1/4. And then I took the fantastic metal plate 3D embossing folder. And I put it in here, like so. And I ran it through the regular size stamp and cut and emboss machine. And then we got this. Isn't that great? Okay. Really looks like something you would see in a workshop or a mechanic shop, right? Okay. So I've got that, and I want to just glue that onto the front of my card. I'm going to go ahead and do that before something else goes missing. Hi, Sarah. How are you? I haven't seen you on here in a while. Nice to see you. From Saskatchewan. Okay. Go. All right. So there we go. Now, next, I've got a bunch of scraps here. I'm going to bring them in. So I've got a little bit of silver foil here. I've got some basic white, just the regular weight, and a little bit more foil. Then I've got some crushed curry and basic black. So I think what we'll do is we'll start with the actual images. Okay, so I stamped them in basic gray. I didn't want to do it in black. I thought black was a bit too strong. I've put 2 of them on one block here just for ease of stamping. So I've got a wrench and a hammer. Okay, so let's just stamp those. Okay, aren't those great? Look at the detail on those. I love that. And then we've got the paintbrush. So this is turning more into a handy person's card versus a mechanic card. Okay. Now, I also actually am going to stamp my paintbrush twice. You'll see why. Now, for coloring, you can just use your Stampin' Blends, but there are a 2-step way of adding color to your brushes, and I will do that. I want to have a disclaimer that I might not be able to line this up very well. My son took me to a soccer game last night at our large venue here in Vancouver. I think there were 48,000 people there. It was to say fond farewell to the best, maybe perhaps the best athlete, but certainly the best soccer player, in my mind, male or female, from Canada, Christine Sinclair. She has scored more international goals than any other athlete, not just women. She's had 190 goals. The point of me telling you all this, other than it was a wonderful night, was I had to keep saying to my son, I can't see. Who is that? Where? Like I could not. He says, "Oh, Mom, your eyes." So I'm looking forward to my surgery. So I might be off. So that's why I'm asking you to kind of forgive me, because I've tried this like I don't know how many times, and it's just like, oh my gosh. That's not bad. It won't be bad when I cut it out. It'll have to do. Okay. So you're going to have to forgive my bad eyesight. Now we're going to do crushed curry. And I'm going to put that on the handle of the hammer. Oh boy, this is trying to, Oh, there, I did better at that one. For some reason, that paintbrush is just like the bane of my existence. I got Poppy Parade. And I'm trying to, I think this would go this way. And I'm leaning kind of over it. Oh, look, that was awesome. Okay, I did those ones pretty good. All right, so then I had this, and there's this really fun stamp I just saw. And it's here. Here it is. And I thought, is that supposed to be like dripping paint? Yes, I guess it is. So I've got the Poppy Parade and that funny little dripping paint. And at the top of my paintbrush, I'm going to do my very best to line that up. I didn't do a very good job. Again, that's okay. It is what it is. I'm going to be cutting these out. Next, got Stampin' Blends, and I only took one color. So this is the Smoky Slate, light and dark. So let's start with the dark, and I'm just going to add it to these cheat lines that the fabulous concept artists at Stampin' Up! Have put on the images. So it's sort of like a way for you to be an artist without even trying, which is perfect for me since I'm not an artist. So I'm just going to add some color, just like that. And then over here on my little paintbrush, I'm going to color the top here, where would be the metal, you know, on a paintbrush. I'm just kind of doing this, adding some dark, and I'm going to go in with some light. So now it's just a matter of grabbing the light one and adding it in and blending, blend, 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 blend. So it just gives it that interest and those highlights. I'm going to use my brush end. That's better. I do have my dark highlights, but I've also got my blending and my light here. So I'll go down the hammer. There. This is a very fun set. There. Okay, so that's pretty good. Let's grab the coordinating dies to cut these out. Now on this one, let me just cut down here because I don't need to cut that one out. You'll see why. So let's layer that on, and you can see it's going to be a lot more forgiving to me just because I missed it. It's going to say it's okay. I can fix that. Oh, I'm going to take a little bit of glue off of that. Anyway, where we go. Okay. That one goes on there. What's everybody talking about? Everyone's so quiet. What's going on? What's going on? What's up? How's it going? Let's see what anybody else. No, everybody's just quiet. Has everyone got their Christmas shopping done? If you celebrate the holiday, if you got that all done, I have got mine all done. And I was feeling pretty smug. Like, oh, I'll get all my Christmas shopping done until I realized it's actually pretty close to Christmas. Like, it's kind of around the corner. My daughter's arriving in a week, well, 2 weeks, I guess. And my son is coming to spend a couple of nights before him and his fiance head off to Mexico. So I have an empty nest, but then I'm going to have both kids around for a couple of days. So that'll be fun. Let's bring in our mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss. We got plate number 3, plate number 2, and put those on there. Run that through. Halfway done shopping, but no decorations. Ah, Sarah, I know. I used to go all out on Christmas decorations. Like, I loved it. I had boughs hanging. I had lots of stuff going on. And I don't know, I think when COVID hit and nobody was coming, you know, going to be coming over, I got out of the habit. We still got a tree. We did go and cut our own tree. But other than that, I kind of downplayed it. And then when COVID was over, we just put up a few little things. So I'm actually going to go through this year and cull all my decorations and just donate them or whatever, give them to my kid if he wants it. But yeah, it's I got a tree. It's outside, waiting to be brought in the house. So it's just in a bucket outside because my daughter arrives and I bring it in then, and her and I decorate it together. So my son cuts it down and then my daughter and I decorate. See what I did here? I just want this little bit here to add back to the other piece. You'll see why in a sec. It bothered me. I'll show you what bothered me. This bothered me that this was covered up. I wish it had stopped here. So I thought I'll just stamp it twice and I'll glue this on. So take that. More ways to fix something. There we go. Okay, so get that. So there's all our little tools. They're so cute, aren't they? Whoop, let me grab. There we go. So that's the tools. Okay. So I'm going to set those aside. All right. Now, the other one I wanted to do was, this was a last minute ad. I grabbed the tape measure, and then there's an inside part of the tape measure, and then there's the actual piece you pull out. Okay. So I need a bit of black. I'm going to cut that. So the black piece is for this. I'm going to actually cut that down even more so I can maybe put some more things through the Stampin' Cut and Emboss. Hi. Oh yeah, I said hi to Ellie already, didn't I? So I'll just do that. Okay, set that aside. And then I've got a little piece of crushed curry. I need a better piece of crushed curry, don't I? Let's see, you guys. I do need a bigger piece. I wasn't really thinking. Okay, there we go. Crushed curry. Okay, that's for our tape measure. And then for this piece, I thought it would be nice with some silver. Okay, so I'm just going to cut it out of that. All right, so let's get these bits done. Okay, there we go. And we've got our plate. I was so grateful last night because we were going downtown. Downtown's a big deal. You have to go downtown. And as I said, there were 48,000 people. And literally, you could throw a stone and hit the arena where the Vancouver Canucks play. Like, it's literally like the next building. And they were having a huge game because one of our team members, our captain, his brothers play for the other team, both brothers. So huge rivalry. Gosh, the downtown's going to be nuts. It was nuts, but it was a manageable nuts. Anyway, so between those two buildings, there were over 60,000 people. And boy, that'll do me for a while. That'll do me for a while. Okay, next. Oh yeah, I'm just reading to see if there's any more. No more comments. Okay. All right, so I'm just going to set this. Let's make our tape measure, shall we? So I'm going to put this piece in the middle. There we go. Or that's always the center piece. And then right here, we can put this piece, which I don't know what you call that. Is that where you put your thumb? Maybe. And then here is where the actual tape measure comes out of. I kind of realized that the end of a tape measure is where the silver is, and the rest is usually yellow with a kind of a metal edge, but I thought, we're just going for, this is what we're going for. Okay, so now I've got that. All right, next up, I'm going to take the rest of that crushed curry, and look at this. This is so cool. We have a pegboard. Isn't that cute? Love that. I don't need the whole board, but I've got enough paper, so I'll cut it out. I'm going to make it a little bit shorter, but we can trim it. So I can just put that on there. Run that through. Now, it doesn't cut out the actual piece. It cuts out all the holes, okay? But that's okay. We're going to trim it down. Okay, this looks like a little pegboard, doesn't it? Isn't that cute? And look at all these little guys. Whew. That off of my well-loved plate. I'm going to be seeing those little dots forever. Okay, so this is too big. So let me grab my cutter. Put up your Dickens Village. Did you? Yeah, it's nutrition. And your yeah. So we'll that's my sister saying they're going to put up their, like one of those Christmas houses. She's got the Dickens ones, and it's huge, and she puts it all over her living room, and it's so cool. And her son, who's an adult and has a child of his own, he likes to come over and help do that. So is he going to do that, Ellie? Is Jordan going to come over and help you do that? I just want to see how many rows I want to cut off. 2 rows. Okay, so that looks good. I just wanted it a little bit shorter. Okay. Okay, next up. Oh, I've got some little tools I want to do. So let me do that while I've got this out. Let me grab some silver. And remember when I had my little problem and I couldn't find, there we go. No, I'm going to just do that. That's what I'm going to do. So we've got our last little piece of silver, using every little bit of it. I'm cutting out some screws. Nuts and bolts, I guess is what it is. When you're getting down with these little bits, you got to be careful you don't lose them. So there they are. Okay, so I'm going to put those. Where am I going to put those? I'm going to put those somewhere safe, she says, with hope. Okay, let's put those over there. Okay, now here's what I want to do. This is a piece that comes. It's sort of like almost looks like a license plate because it's got 3 little holes in it. But I want to use a smaller stamp from here. I just want to use the thank you stamp. And if I did that, it's too small. Like it's kind of lost in here. You're the most awesome. Even it gets a little lost. But you could do thank you, happy Father's Day on one. But I didn't want to do that. I just basically want to make it smaller. So I started with a piece, and I'm just going to go ahead and cut this out. I hope if I had my handle on the right side, or the correct side. Here we go. So I'm going to run that through. Oh, that's good, Ellie. So the older grandkids are starting their tradition. They're going to take over the Dickens. Excellent. Okay. Now, what I want to do is I want to make this piece skinnier and shorter. So the first thing I'm going to do is make it skinnier. So I'm going to reposition it with the holes lined up with the holes in the die. Okay. So you can feel it grab when you line up a die again. So I'm going to do that. So we're going to cut the top off. Now, yeah, I could have just used scissors, But I didn't want to do that. I'll kind of show you why in a minute. But this little piece that's left, I thought was kind of cool and could be used for, oh, I don't know, just, I'm sure there's a way on this a card that you could use that. You guys think about that. Okay, so that's what I've ended up with. So now I've got 3 holes instead of 4. Oops. But I want it shorter. So this is a little trickier. So, oops, I'm going to line it up again on the bottom, move it along, and I'm going to move it so that it is a shorter piece. But before I cut it, I want to just make sure I can fit the word thank you on there. It's a bit tight. I think I'll make it a little bit bigger. Just a titch. You can do this with any die. I do it a lot with rectangles and whatnot. Just have to line it up, and hopefully that's right. Hopefully my eyesight isn't giving me issues. Run that through. And that should give us a shorter piece, but with 3 holes. And there we are. There we go. So we've got a shorter piece than the original die. Okay, shorter and skinnier. Okay, so look at some of the dies that you own, especially those rectangular stitch dies and things like that. This is a really great technique to work with that. All right, so here's our piece. Now what I have to do is just stamp a sentiment. So let's grab our embossing buddy and our piece of black. Let's really get that. And then we got our Versamark. We've got our words. Thank you. Whoops. And it kind of looks like a film strip in a way, doesn't it? You could probably make it bigger, you could probably make a film strip with this. Ooh, I'll have to try that before someone else thinks of it. You heard it here, folks. You heard it here first, folks. Okay. There we go. Just give that a little flick. Got a little bit extra there I didn't want. But I think I might have to live with that. Yeah, I'm going to have to live with that, I think. Not the end of the world. These things are not the end of the world. Okay. Put the lid on. Let's do that. Okay. And let's get our heat tool. All right. This is a small piece. I don't want to burn my fingers. So I'm going to... See, it came off my... I don't like that. It came off my top of my tea. So I'm just going to dip that back in. And... That's better. Perfect. Well, good enough. What's the saying? Enough is better than perfect, because you can spend your whole life trying to make things perfect, right? So remember, when we're heating up our embossing powder, we're melting that powder. So it takes a minute, well, not a minute, it takes a bit to get it, the gun going, the heat tool going. And then you will see it start to process. So the chemical reaction, it's melting it, and you can see that the white is getting nice and bright. And you're just going to move along slowly along the strip until it's all done, like so. Okay, yay. So let's bring in all our little bits. This is the part where I was, you know, sometimes you spend too much time fussing over things, because I decided this, as usual, at the last minute. And so I just literally made this card. I was hoping I could remember what I was doing. So we got all our bits. So we've already gone. So just to recap, we've taken that metal plate embossing folder. Awesome. We've got our little pegboard. Let's glue that on. I say, as I'm looking for my glue, talk amongst yourselves. Don't know what happened to my glue. You guys, I have such a small little table. I don't know how glue could go missing. I really don't. Like how? I glued one thing on today and it's gone. I have to open a new one. So for this one, I just took my white glue and ever so carefully This is a brand new glue, so you have to be even more careful. Just going through the strips here. Every second one, I added a little bit of glue, maybe just on the ends here. So it'll stick down. If you think you've got too much glue, you can always just use a little nib to spread it out. Okay, so gonna remind myself that I made 20 minutes ago, but here it is. Okay, got our pegboard. Even heating part. Yeah, it's so fun, isn't it, Keisha? I know. I think we get out of the habit. As you know, you guys, I'm kind of an embossing fiend, aren't I? I'm a bit of a freak. Okay, so we've got our wrench and our paintbrush and our hammer. So let's get those glued. Not really hanging on our, I guess technically they should be like this, hanging on the pegboard, right? My paintbrush, I think, was going the wrong way, but I really wanted it to show, so I'm going to have to, maybe I'll move it down a titch. Ooh, changing things. A hammer, wrench. I guess I could do it like that. Looks good. And then we've got our little plaque. So we could, I think I'm going to move this up a titch. There we go, just a titch. So that we can, that's better. Okay, so thank you. Let's grab some dimensionals. And pop that up. There we go. And then we've got our little tape measure. Oh, I somehow knocked off. So just a sec, girls. I'm going to make sure. There we go. It's always good to look up every so often. Sometimes SteamYard does this. It pushes me off. So sorry. I don't know how long I was kind of not focused. Okay, so we got that. And then remember I've got those little bits that are like these little screws. I'll show you my original card where I put them, which I liked, but I've sort of moved things around on this card, so it's not quite the same. Oh, just looking for some glue dots here, you guys. So here was my original card, which I had this going the wrong way, I guess, and then I had this moved over, and then I have this room here just to put those nuts and bolts. So I'm going to use my glue dots from my paper pumpkin, and I think I'm just going to put them, let me see, where do we want them? I don't want too much on the bottom. I'm going to have to just wing this. So we got that one, got a nut, we got a bolt, we got a screw, we got a screw loose, I think. That would have been a good saying with this, right? We got a screw loose. All right. Little titch of glue. Titch, titch, titch. Boy. Helps to have littler fingers, doesn't it? I don't love that, but I'm going to go with it. It is what it is. Now, I did grab the just the regular rhinestones, and I thought that they would be good just to finish off this little plaque, cover up those holes. I'm wondering, sometimes less is more. I'm just going to do this differently than the original, and then you can see both, and you can go, oh, I like the original. I don't like that's too many rhinestones, but we'll see. Okay, spread this out, make a space. So there's the one that we just made, but here's my original. I think I don't know which one I like better. They're both okay, aren't they? They're both nice. They're both good. Okay, so be watching for your Trusty Tools bundle that's coming in the new mini catalog, along with that fantastic designer series paper that you can pick for free. So that's this paper here, but it's got all the images that you can cut out with the dies, right? So just as a recap, here's Keisha's favorite. This is the measuring tape. But look at all these. Look at this. You got a saw. You could easily hand cut that. It's fussy cut. Love it. Love it. So free paper that goes. I love it when they do that during celebration, where they make free paper. You know, they make free products that go with other products, either in the annual catalog or in the mini. Okay, so how you guys doing? There's no such thing as too many. Well, I don't know. Maybe not. You're right, Sarah. Of course. So let me show you. This is the one with the most. Okay, so there's the... It's kind of fun, isn't it? What do you think? Do you like my card? I like it. It's kind of fun. Winka Stella on the paintbrush. Oh, Diane, that's why I need you, because you're so good at the Winka Stella. So what Diana's saying, let's add some Winka Stella to that paint. I think that's what you mean, right? Let's get it right on the paint so that it glistens. Diane loves Winka Stella. It's her favorite thing. There we go. Can't see it probably, right? You probably can't see the Winka Stella, but trust me, it's there. Glittering. Excellent idea. I think I'm going to move my phone down a titch, you guys, so we're a little bit closer. There we go. Is that a little bit better? I think so. Like the cards, always need cards from it. It's true. Hi, Margaret. I didn't notice you jumped on here, so I didn't say hello. Hello. Welcome. I like the colors together, too. You know, that gray and yellow is a really classic color combo. I use it a lot, but it really works well, I think, with this. And that Lost Lagoon, don't you think that Lost Lagoon, where they ties everything together, I think it's a brilliant color combo that they've created with the paper. Yeah. Anything else, you guys, that you're dying to say before we say goodbye? Okay, so I'll see you again on Sunday. Yes, Sunday at 10 a.m. I will see you then, Pacific time. Until then, I hope you get some time in to be creative and feed your creative juices. Probably you guys are still making Christmas cards, some of you. I have to get mine done and out. Then start thinking about after Christmas cards, which is a whole bunch of stuff. If you're a demonstrator, we got to order early from the mini catalog, so a bunch of stuff will be coming in the next several days. So excited to see that. All right, you guys, have a great rest of the night, and I'll see you on Sunday. Thanks for joining me. Bye for now.